want to talk about my Basins Weekly. We're going to go ahead and do something different today, y'all. You asked for it, you got it. I'm going to go ahead and rate every single member of the current WWE main roster. We're going to do a little tier list ranking them all. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. Lock in. Alright, y'all, so as you can see here, we have 5 tiers. We have the Legend tier reserved for, like, your future Hall of Famers, your all-time greats, etc. The Great Plus tier is going to be, people who are great or on the cusp of being amazing, even higher than that, but they're not exactly a legend. Next is the Good/Solid tier. This is pretty self-explanatory. Next is Mid/Average, another self-explanatory tier. And then the last tier is at the very bottom, which you're going to see a lot of people in that part, Jobber/Fire them immediately. Now, let's go ahead and start off this list. We have AJ Styles is first up. AJ Styles is great. Okay, AJ Styles is amazing in the ring. He cut solid promos. The only reason he's not a legend is simply because in the WWE, he hasn't been there for like 15, 20 years, and he's not in the tier with like The Rock, Cena, Taker, etc. Guys that you would assume as legends, right? But AJ Styles is awesome. Next, I think this is Akam or Razar. I don't know this dude. Fire him immediately. The Final Testament serves absolutely nothing. So wait till we get to Karrion Kross and Scarlett, right? This is Alba Fire. Fire immediately. You know what I'm saying? Fire immediately. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't contribute. Therefore, she needs to be absolutely exonerated from her duties. Akira Tozawa, you know what? This is going to sound crazy. I'm putting Akira Tozawa in the Good/Solid tier because all he's asked to do is be funny, be comedic, and wrestle matches that are decent and make the crowd hype and, get a good pop. That's all him and Otis are designed to do, and they do a good job of that, so I have to put them there. Next is Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is going to go, do I want to put her in good or great? I feel like Alexa Bliss is very good. I'm going to put Alexa Bliss in very good. She's very good. She's good on the mic. She's better than a lot of women's wrestlers all time on the mic. That's good. She has solid in-ring work. She has different gimmicks that I thought were interesting. I mean, some of them weren't executed well, but Alexa Bliss is pretty talented, and I'm actually kind of excited for her return. But relative speaking to the women's division, Alexa Bliss might actually be great. You know what? I'm moving Alexa Bliss up to great. Deal with it. Next is Andrade El Idolo. I'm going to put Andrade in the good tier. Andrade is definitely good. The only problem with Andrade is just the language barrier and his communication, his storytelling, and his promos, right? He's not super over with the crowd, despite the fact that he's amazing in the ring, in my opinion. But, if you give him like a mouthpiece, like a Zelina Vega, because she's also, I think she used to be his mouthpiece in NXT. That could work. You give him another person who can just speak for him on the mic. I think that would elevate his game tremendously, but Andrade is good. I think this is Angel Garza. I'm going to put Angel Garza in average. He's had a couple funny moments in ring. Like, he's not a complete bum or a jobber, but he's borderline jobbering. Angelo Dawkins is awesome. I'm putting him in the good tier, man. Angelo Dawkins cuts solid promos. He's athletic in the ring. He's a bigger guy as well. So, for him to be doing those moves at his size is very impressive. And I think if they were to make him into a singles competitor similar to Montez Ford, which they should do, we're going to get to him later, they would both be great in their jobs, in my opinion. So, yeah, he's definitely very good. Apollo Crews, fire immediately. Fire immediately. He serves absolutely nothing. He doesn't do anything. He's not a contributor, and he has no storylines. He hasn't been on TV in 2 months since the Vinci situation. So I'm done with him. I think this is Ashante the Adonis. Ashante the Adonis is like average. He's like the bare minimum for what you would want like an undercarder to be, right? He has a little bit of charisma. I think he's on NXT right now. Like, he has a crush on Carmen Petrovic or whatever. So, they're doing a couple things there. But this guy's a jobber. He's going to be probably out of the company soon. But for now, we'll say he's mid. Asuka's good. Asuka's good. She definitely is good. Relative to the other, the people in the women's division, she wrestles good matches. She doesn't really need to cut promos because her character is not designed to do that. It's just designed to be a great wrestler. And that's exactly what she does. So I can't blame Asuka for that. Austin Theory honestly is a jobber, man. Like, I didn't want to do it, dude, because I think Austin Theory has good potential, but he's a jobber. He doesn't do anything, and he's being booked into oblivion. His tag team reign with Waller was awful. I mean, you can't really ask anything of this dude anymore, man. He has potential, but until they use him that way, he's just going to be a jobber in undercard matches, man. It's unfortunate, bro, but hey, it is what it is. He's a great seller, though. Those sells on the stunners and the RKOs, he's amazing. Baron Corbin, fire immediately. Fire immediately. He didn't work on the main roster in the 2010s. He's not working on the main roster now. He hasn't been on the show in like 3 months, so that's that. Bayley, this is tricky, man, because right now, like the last couple years, Bayley has been atrocious. Awful. And her title reign was one of the worst women's championship reigns I think I've ever seen. But, in totality, her legacy and her lineage, what she's done for women's wrestling, she's gonna have to go in the good tier. Even though right now she sucks, I have to factor in everything, right? This list is going to factor in where you are currently and also your lineage and your lifetime in the WWE. So because of that, Bayley has to go in the good tier. But in all seriousness, she hasn't done anything in like 5 years, so she's living off reputation at the moment, and that's just what it is. Becky Lynch is going in the great tier. Becky Lynch is absolutely awesome. She elevates everyone she competes with, like she did with, Bianca Belair. She elevated her. That was the last great women's feud on the main roster, I feel like, was Bianca and Becky in 2022. That feud leading into the Mania match, which was awesome. That was just a great feud, right? And honestly, no one else can really do what Becky Lynch is doing right now in terms of elevating talent, besides like Charlotte maybe. No one can elevate talent and be amazing on the mic at the same time and also still put on good matches. Like her matches with Nia Jax, her match with Liv Morgan at Queen of the Ring was actually pretty decent as well. So yeah. B-Fab, I'm going to put B-Fab at mid/average. She hasn't done anything, so I can't really grade her on anything. I mean, I haven't really seen her cut promos. I haven't really seen her wrestle besides I was at WrestleMania 40 this year, and she, slammed Scarlett through a table, so that was kind of cool. But, yeah, B-Fab just hasn't been given an opportunity to do a lot. So, I mean, I can't really judge her yet. So she's just in the average tier. Bianca Belair is great. Yeah, she's 100% going in great tier. Like I mentioned, her feud with Becky, that was the last great women's feud on the main roster, I feel like, at least in recent years, And honestly, at this point, Bianca is just superb athleticism. I mean, she has the prowess in the ring. She has a level of charisma that not many people in the women's division have, and she's one of the biggest stars in the women's division, so that's pretty much that. Bianca Belair is awesome, and hopefully she gets a world championship or a WWE title run again in the coming, year or two, so that's that. Big E's definitely good. I like Big E. Big E's always funny. He's entertaining. I like Big E, man. He's good, and I'm upset that his neck injury and everything that happened with it, and he may never wrestle again. That's very unfortunate. But if Big E ever does come back, he's gonna get a massive pop. He always served his role well. He's good in the tag team division. He's solid on the mic. He's very entertaining and very funny, and he's charismatic. Right? What more can you ask of a guy? Blair Davenport, fire immediately. Absolutely fire immediately. I'm putting her to the top of this list. Out of everyone in this bottom tier, she deserves to be fired first. I can't even put her in the top of the list, but anyways, she deserves to be fired first. After her horrendous series of bad matches versus Naomi, everyone saw what this girl is. She is a walking botch fest. Therefore, she should be fired immediately. Who's next here? Bo Dallas. I'm just going to call this guy Uncle Howdy because Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is mid. Bo Dallas is mid. In the back in the day, he was a jobber. Right now, Uncle Howdy is just, I'd say he's below mid. I don't think the Uncle Howdy Wyatt Six stuff is garbage, but it's borderlining on that. So I'm going to put Uncle Howdy in the mid tier for now. Maybe he'll go up, but it's likely he goes down in the Wyatt Six just gets off of TV for a long time. Bobby Lashley is still on this list, man, even after his firing. Bobby Lashley is good. He's good. He's the full package, man. He's got the build. He's got the look in ring. He's very good. He's got a presence that doesn't really, require him to cut amazing promos. Like if MVP was his mouthpiece like he used to be and stuff like that, it works great because Bobby Lashley has every other attribute you need to be a good pro wrestler, just except for the promo game and the storytelling game is pretty weak from Lashley, all right? It's not that good. But there's still no excuse for him being fired and Karrion Kross having a job. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the next person. Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's good. Braun Strowman's good. Very, 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 very good, man. The monster among men. The recent feud he had with Bronson Reed was one of the best TV feuds they've had in a while, on Raw especially. So I like that. Braun's put on good matches. He was working with the Wyatt family. I like Braun Strowman, and he's pretty good at his job. So Braun Strowman's definitely going to go in the good tier. Braun Breaker is great. And honestly, we all know deep down, if Braun Breaker stays healthy and continues to progress at the rate he is, he's probably going to end up in that legend tier, like top 30 to 20 wrestlers ever, potentially. But right now, he's great. This guy, the match quality, the promo ability, the athleticism. This dude is a professional athlete level athletic, dude. This guy nearly went to the NFL and was, he's just a supreme athlete, bro. The way he runs the ropes, he's extremely quick. Braun Breaker is a monster, and he will likely be a world champion by next year if he isn't by the end of this year somehow, right? This guy is just, he's amazing. He's the future of the wrestling industry, the North Star. Bronson Reed, I'm going to put Bronson Reed in the goods tier, but he's solid. You know what? I'm going to say Bronson Reed is solid plus. He's like solid / good. He's in the mix of these things, right? Because Bronson Reed is just now over the last few months becoming good and becoming interesting. And I think all these brawls and his gimmick of just like destroying people and being this big brawling monster. It works for him, man, and he's good in the ring. His promo game is also developing in backstage segments and things of that nature. So, what more can you ask of the guy, man? He's doing his job. Brutus Creed. Brutus Creed is also solid. I know I make jokes about this guy, but like he's solid in the ring, dude. And the fact that I think he's in his 20s or something like that, he's going to be good going forward. Him and Julius are both supremely athletic in the ring. The one problem with Brutus Creed is the stuff he says off camera. He needs to keep that in check. I mean, this guy's out here talking about, big booty Bailey and, big booty Nia Jax. He says they both have big butts, and he's like reviewing Cheez-Its at Taco Bell. I mean, this guy's an interesting cat. But he's decent at his job, and he's got a good future. Candice LeRae, fire immediately. She doesn't contribute anything. She's okay in the ring. She has a good moonsault, I'll give her that. But, character-wise, storytelling-wise, she's not over with the crowd. If you can't get over with the crowd, you need to be fired. At the end of the day, the facts are what the facts are, right? Carlito is mid. Carlito used to be good. We used to be in the good/solid tier, when he was doing I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool, you know what I mean? But Carlito slowed down progressively. I honestly think he's been doing steroids or something. He's just a little bit too thick and beefy and, buff. Hopefully he trims down a little bit and, improves in the ring. But Carlito's always going to be respected. It's Carlito. He's had good moments. It's that simple. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, I'm going to put in the good tier. I think Carmelo Hayes, out of all the younger talent that they've brought up, like Braun and Tiffany and Melo, I'd say Melo is second on the list. I will say, though, in terms of promo and like charisma and storytelling, Melo is number one in terms of everyone they've brought up recently from NXT. But the in-ring work is also up there as well. Melo is amazing with that. And honestly, in terms of the balance of everything, Melo probably is the best call-up they've had. But he hasn't been booked and executed in that manner, so Braun Breaker is still better than him in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. But Melo has a full package. Promos, charisma, he's creative, he knows how to be funny, they'll put the fries in the bag thing with Andrade. He just knows how to be a funny guy, he knows how to wrestle well, sell well. I mean, what more can you ask, right? Like, I know I'm saying what more can you ask for a lot of these dudes, but again, some of these guys are actually good. What more can you ask of them, right? They're succeeding with what they're given, and that's all you can ask from these people. Carmella, mid. What does she do? Let's literally sum that up. What does she do? Ashante the Adonis, this is Cedric Alexander. This dude's pretty much just living off a little passive check. I'm firing him immediately. I mean, he isn't doing anything. Chad Gable's going to go in the good tier. Chad Gable is definitely good. He's really good in the ring. He's underrated on the mic. His heel persona, he had such a hot streak heading into like the mid part of the early parts of 2024. His heel turn was great. He was putting on good matches with Sami Zayn. He was also being the best promo worker probably on the entirety of Raw at the time he was in there earlier this year. Like, Chad Gable was on a hot streak with him and Otis too, that beef, and they didn't go anywhere with it. And that's pretty much what we have here today. Next is Charlotte. Charlotte is going to go ahead and go into the... where is she going to go? She's going to go into the great tier. I feel like her and Becky are both legends, though, dude. I can't... All right, I'm going to move Charlotte into the legend tier, bro. And I'm going to move Becky into the legend tier as well. Because, what they've done for the industry, what they've done for women's wrestling, on top of their just strictly talent. I mean, Charlotte is probably the best in-ring performer in WWE history for the women's division. So, I mean, she kind of has to go there. What else does there need to be said? She has like 10 world championships. I mean, come on now. Chelsea Green is mid. I used to think Chelsea Green was a jobber and that she needs to be fired immediately. But honestly, man, no, she needs to be fired immediately. Yeah, no. Fire that immediately, bro. She's just annoying at this point. Her and Tiffany Stratton are literally the same character. It's the same stuff. Oh, the Tiffany epiphany. I had an epiphany. My name's Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green. Like, come on, bro. I'm getting tired of this gimmick now, right? She's not contributing. She's one of those people who shows up to work every week but doesn't do anything. She's there, but she's not there. She's there, but she's stuck in Nick Aldis's office saying the same lines of dialogue every week. Her in-ring work is decent, though. So, honestly, she's better than, like, Shayna Baszler and Blair Davenport. I can't put her in this tier, man. She's going to go in the mid-tier. She can keep her job for now. CM Punk, man. CM Punk. Wow, we got Punk and Cody Rhodes. Things are about to get interesting. CM Punk is going to go in the great tier. Because right now, CM Punk is absolutely mid, right? His promos are okay at best. He's got a couple good ones since coming back, but his in-ring work is washed. He's washed in the ring. Him and Drew McIntyre in those matches, they're all overrated, every single one of those three. But Punk was carried in the ring by Drew. But Punk, you know, you look at his lineage of what he did when he was first in WWE, like the late 2000s to mid 2010s. Punk was awesome. He was absolutely incredible at his job. He was going toe-to-toe on the mic with Rock and Cena. I mean, he was putting on good matches. I just watched him versus Cena on an episode of Raw back in 2013. It was incredible. So Punk is going in the great tier because all time he's going to go down as great. I don't think he's a legend, but he's great. Cody Rhodes, libations, 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 Wheatley. Cody Rhodes, man, you don't want to fire him immediately, right? I can't be disrespectful and disingenuous like that and just say he needs to be fired immediately. But Cody Rhodes he's not good, man. He's not good. He's good in the ring, but every other aspect like promos and storytelling and drawing ability and consistency, I just don't think he has it, man. Cody Rhodes is mid, bro. He's mid. And honestly, he's not going to lose his job because he's champion and because he's helping the company. But at the end of the day, bro, this dude's not good. He's having one of the worst WWE championship reigns I've ever seen in my life. He cuts the same promo every week. He doesn't know how to elevate and make his feuds feel meaningful and engaging. And neither does Triple H. I mean, the guy who's booking him. So, I mean, what can you do? But he's not delivering, man. He's not. He's not better than, like, Chad Gable. He's not better than Bobby Lashley. He's not better than Carmelo Hayes will be. Braun Breaker's better than him. AJ's better than him. Punk's better than him. I mean, come on, man. But is he really worse than Andrade? Is he really? Andrade's going down to mid, man. Andrade's going to mid tier, bro. And honestly, do I think anyone else here is good? I'm going to move Brutus down to mid. And then Cody Rhodes. By today's current landscape and what he's done, you know, he was an okay mid-carder, undercarder back in the day. I'm going to move Cody Rhodes up to solid tier right between Melo and Chad Gable, and then I'll move Tozawa right over here, right? That's how we're going to do this, man. Cody Rhodes is, I guess you can make the case he's solid, but he's really, really bad as champion. I'll say that. Without the championship, he's solid. With the championship, he's cheeks. All right, let's see. Who is this here? I don't even remember this dude's name. Fire him immediately. Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is definitely solid. She's definitely solid. You know, she serves her purpose. She's relevant when she's actually out there and not injured. She needs to stop getting injured, hopefully. So, but yeah, she cuts decent promos. She's a decent mouthpiece for damage control. She's solid in the ring, but again, she keeps getting injured and she hasn't done anything. So she has to go at the bottom of this part of solid because even though she has talent, she's not using it for anything because she's not healthy. So that's pretty much that. Damian Priest, El Campeon, fire immediately. Well, actually, I'm put him in mid-average. He's like mid. Damian Priest is just mid, man. He doesn't really contribute anything, in my personal opinion, right? Damian Priest is a guy who cuts the same promo every week, and just like Cody Rhodes, he's had one of the worst world championship reigns I've ever seen in my life. Bad promos. Good matches, though, in the ring. Good matches. But he only wrestled like 4 or 5 matches. So it's like, 4 months, 4 good matches, and no good promos, and he's not a star. He's not over with the audience, really. He's getting closer to getting over with the audience, but that's not good enough, right? It's not good enough to warrant him being above average. So Damian Priest had potential to be better, but right now he's just mid. Dexter Lumis, fire immediately. Dominic Mysterio, mid. Dominic Mysterio is mid. I'm sick of everyone saying, oh, because he gets heat, he's amazing. No, he's not, right? The only reason he got heat is because he turned on his dad, who happens to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So obviously, that's just how it's going to be. Dominic Mysterio, though, at the end of the day, he has potential, but in the ring, on the mic, have we ever heard this dude cut a great promo? Even before he was getting booed off the mic, have we ever heard him cut a great promo? Have we ever seen him do an amazing backstage segment? I don't think so. The only thing he's done is turn on his dad, and he had a solid match at Mania 39 versus Rey Mysterio. Outside of that, he hasn't done anything, and he's absolutely overrated. Dragon Lee, I'm going to put him in the mid-tier. Dragon Lee has potential, though, don't get me wrong. I think he's in his 20s. He's probably going to end up being great in the ring. I mean, he already is, so he's probably going to end up being awesome in the ring. He needs to develop on the mic and in his segments and storytelling. If he does that, he'll probably end up being in the good tier, and he'll be respected. Drew McIntyre is going in the great tier. Drew McIntyre is absolutely awesome, man. He's going in great. Yep, there you go. Drew McIntyre is awesome. Great promos, great character work. He's developing and elevating every single year. He elevates his competition while elevating himself. Drew McIntyre is probably the MVP of WWE in 2024. The promos, the segments, the matches. Drew is awesome, man. He's absolutely awesome. He's got the build, too. He's got the look of a star. I like Drew McIntyre. He's probably my favorite wrestler on Raw, honestly, besides Seth Rollins. He is, Drew McIntyre is epic, dude. Love his finisher. The Claymore kick is absolutely awesome, too. Elektra Lopez, fire immediately. What is this dude's name? I think this dude's part of Pretty Deadly. I forget his name. Fire immediately. Eric Rowan, fire immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest here, bro. I think this is Ivar, or who? No, this isn't Ivar. This is the other dude in the War Raiders. Fire immediately. That's that. Finn Balor. Honestly, bro, Finn Balor, fire immediately, bro. I know it's crazy, but you need to fire him immediately because he's not contributing. He's not contributing anything in the storytelling. He just had a feud with Damian that had months of prior build-up to them breaking up eventually, and then that feud ended up being garbage, and no one wants to see the continuation of it at all. He's on autopilot, and honestly, sadly, since he hurt his shoulder after winning the Universal title back in 2016 or 2015, whenever that was, he's been irrelevant. He's been irrelevant. He hasn't done really that much in the ring, and he doesn't do anything on the mic. He's an awful promo worker and a pretty mid-storyteller, so he's got to be fired, man. There's no point of wasting this dude's career when he can go to AEW and make, like, more money while also, you know, at least being able to wrestle and win gold. You know what I mean? Vinci, fire immediately. This dude lost in 2 seconds back-to-back matches to Apollo Crews. Grayson Waller, he's a jobber. He's a jobber. I'm not going to say fire immediately, but he is a jobber. He's not doing anything right now, right? I mean, what is this guy even doing anymore? Gunter is mid. Gunter is absolutely mid. I don't care what anybody says. You know what? By today's standards, I'm going to put Gunter in solid tier. Okay, even though I know dang well that Gunter realistically is mid or below mid. I mean, he's good in the ring, you know, at least to an extent. He's way overrated in the ring. All he does is chop. And his splash... Gunter's splash is one of the worst splashes in wrestling history. It is horrendous. Gunter's not that athletic in the ring. He's not like an amazing seller. He has decent in-ring psychology, but it's like he's not that special, man. And his championship reign was bad. I'm moving Gunter down to mid. He's honestly, bro, if everything was equal and the booking was equal, he would not be considered better than Damian Priest. Damian Priest is better on the mic. Yeah, consider that. As bad as Damian Priest is on the mic, he's better than Gunter. That's sad. And honestly, Gunter has a couple decent promos here and there, but this dude isn't that good, man. I just don't see the appeal with this guy. I'm not drawn to this dude. But, I mean, is he really worse than Damian right now? He's in the same tier with Cody. That makes sense. They're both bad world champions. They can just go in the solid tier. They're solid. They're not good, but they're solid, right? They're okay by today's standards. In the 2010s or in the 2000s, they'd be jobbers. Well, I mean, Cody was a jobber in the 2000s, so there's that. I think this is Berto. I think Humberto Gonzalez. Fire immediately. He's not doing anything. What can I say? Ilya Dragunov is solid. He's solid. He's good in the ring. You know, I haven't really seen him cut many promos, but his whole gimmick of the Red Dragon, it works decently. You know, he's getting better in the ring too. I feel like with, you know, he's not overreacting as much to every little move and overselling everything, so that's good. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. He's good in the ring. I mean, he's young too. He's got a future ahead of him. They haven't even tried with him yet, so yeah. Ilya Dragunov is decent. Indy Hartwell, fire immediately. Indy Hartwell, you know, there's something going on with wrestlers nowadays, right? Women's wrestlers that know they're about to be out of the company, they basically find a way to, like, post the most rancid OnlyFans-esque picture on social media. Like, Samantha Irvin just left WWE. Leading up to that release, we all know she was posting, like, these random butt cheek images and ricochets with her and all this other stuff. She's posting these images where she's, like, half naked. It's absolute nonsense. When a woman's wrestler or a woman's, member of WWE is about to leave the roster, just know you're about to get some OnlyFans pictures and then they're gone. Indy Hartwell, I saw some picture. Grayson Waller was, like, imitating her at a grill. And then I looked to see what he was imitating because I'm like, Grayson Waller's just standing on a grill. What's the difference? And I look and see the picture he's imitating, and it's just Indy Hartwell with her butt cheek out, which means that Indy Hartwell is likely going to be fired soon. Or, headed to OnlyFans. Who knows? Alba Fire, jobber. I'm not going to say fire immediately because, she's not the worst in the ring. She's not worse than, like, Shayna Baszler, obviously, but she's not that good either. So, Alba Fire, or whatever her name is, Isla Dawn, I think her name is, whatever, man. She's a jobber. Ivar's average or mid. Ivar's decent in the ring, I'll tell you that. For his size, he's good in the ring, but he's not really required to do anything else. So, I mean, what else is there for this dude to do? Ivy Nile, fire immediately. Io Sky going in the good tier. Io Sky's going in the good tier. She's not exactly like in the legendary/great tier yet, but Io Sky's in the good tier. She is probably one of, if not the best in-ring performer in the current state of WWE's women's division. She's incredible in the ring. She sells great. She wrestles great. And that's pretty much all she's asked to do. The backstage segments, I mean, you have the language barrier there. Sometimes Dakota Kai's the mouthpiece, so it makes up for it. And quite frankly, Io Sky, in terms of a talent and consistency rate, I just feel like she's better than a lot of these other women that are in the division right now. And she's one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. So what can I say? Jacob Fatu, I'm going to go good. Here. They haven't really asked him to cut any promos. So it's like, what can you ask of this dude? But at the end of the day, Jacob Fatu is, he's decent on the mic, at least when he's been given the chance to say things. Like his backstage walkout promo he did a few weeks ago was pretty decent. And quite frankly, Jacob Fatu in the ring is amazing. He just is. He sells solid. His whole gimmick of being like this warlord Samoan werewolf dude who doesn't sell anything and then super kicks everyone and does these amazing moonsaults he has and this amazing Samoan drop. He's definitely good. I'll give him that for sure. Jade Cargill is also good. Jade Cargill, honestly, man, should be in the great tier, though. That's what bothers me about this whole situation, because Jade Cargill, realistically speaking, with her build, her aesthetic, her appeal, and the fact that, she's also, developing in the ring, and on the mic, she's better than all these other jobbers that get shots, like Liv Morgan and, Nia Jax, all these people. She should really be in the great tier with, like, Bianca and Alexa Bliss, for example, but she's not. Because, she's not being booked that way, and she hasn't really gotten going in her singles career yet. So until that happens, she's just going to be in the good tier, but she should be great. She has everything you need to be a superstar in the women's division, but, that's that. JD McDonough, mid. JD McDonough's good in the ring, but he doesn't do anything else, and he also has a bobblehead, so there you go. Jey Uso, awesome. He's great. Absolutely great. Jey Uso being able to get over as a single star and also be able to be one of the top merch sellers, and one of the top, mainstream appeals. When you look on YouTube and you look at the segments each week for Raw, the biggest feud thing is either going to be something with Rhea Ripley or Jey Uso, and, that's because Jey Uso is honestly kind of a draw at this point, right? And the fact that he's able to do that as a single star and also as a tag team guy in the Bloodline, he's great. He cuts good promos. He put on a banger match with Braun Breaker when he won the belt. The rematch for the belt that happened on Raw was not that good in my opinion, but, what more can you ask, right? Jey Uso's awesome. It's really that simple. Jimmy Uso is good. The reason Jimmy Uso's not in the great tier is because Jimmy Uso hasn't gotten over as a single star. But Jimmy Uso is hilarious. He brings charisma, he brings energy, and he's been consistent for the last, over a decade that he's been in this company, right? 10, 15 years at this point. He's awesome, man. Jimmy Uso is really cool, and he's definitely in the good tier. The only thing he's not in the great is because, he hasn't gotten over as a single star. As a tag team competitor, though, incredible. You know what I mean? Who is this dude here? I think this dude's in the LWO. I think this is a dude who launches off the ring rope like 50 feet in the air. This dude's pretty cool for that. I'm putting him in the mid tier. Just for that move alone, I'm putting him in the mid tier. Who is this? I don't even know who that is, man. By the way, we're not doing any NXT. No NXT on this list. So anyone who's in NXT or that I don't recognize, forget about him. Johnny Gargano, fire immediately. Absolutely fire that dude immediately. Julius Creed, I already went over this. He's in the mid tier / average tier. This dude has good potential, though, so that's that. Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is solid. She botches a good bit of moves, though, which is kind of a problem. But, overall, you compare her to the rest of the women's division, she's not that far off, so that's pretty much that. Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, fire immediately. He doesn't contribute anything. He's not that guy, man. With a little bit more, opportunity to wrestle and do promos and maybe get over as a heel with the crowd, then maybe he'd be better. But right now, he's not doing anything. So why would I have him anything above, like, a jobber? What is this? Carl Anderson, I think? Yeah, fire immediately. This is self-explanatory. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, fire immediately. They're jobbers. They don't do anything. Kevin Owens is good. I don't think that Kevin Owens has, done anything, obviously, in a long time. But Kevin Owens in the ring and on the mic is a guy that's going to consistently do his job. All he's asked to do is wrestle good matches here and there, be plugged into the tag team division in the mid-card, and, cut solid promos. And Kevin Owens does cut solid promos. He's also a pretty funny guy, too, as well. So, I'm interested to see this heel gimmick and see what he has to do. But Kevin Owens is pretty solid. He's definitely good. I like Kevin Owens. Who is this here? Kiana James. I'm going to put her in average. She hasn't really had a chance to do anything, and sadly she got injured, so, we'll just have to see what her potential lies once she does more on the main roster. This is Guy from Pretty Deadly, fire immediately. Kofi Kingston is going to go in that good tier. Kofi Kingston is good all time. He's been consistent. He's done his job. What else is there for this dude to do? He's been plugged into the mid-card and the tag division. What's it called? He won a WWE Championship, which for Kofi Kingston to do that is impressive. And quite frankly, Kofi Kingston's been a model of consistency for them for like 15, 20 years at this point. So, Kofi Kingston gets my respect for sure. L.A. Knight, yeah. L.A. Knight's going in the great tier. LA Knight is absolutely awesome. Had they have discovered this guy's, talent and abilities and booked him, accordingly about 5-10 years ago when I think he was in the company 5 years ago, right? So if they would have found this out 5 years ago, this dude would have probably been on the track to end up in the Hall of Fame at that point, right? Because his talent, his appeal, his promos, his matches, he's developing in the ring still in his 40s, which is impressive. LA Knight is awesome. Yeah. So that's that. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is a jobber. I wanted to be nice about it, but Liv Morgan is a jobber, and she's going at the top of this little jobber column. Liv Morgan doesn't really do anything for me, man. I mean, she has some of the tools that you need to get over with the audience, right? I mean, obviously, to most people, she's attractive, obviously, so, that's her way of getting over. She has a lot of fans on, the social medias or whatnot, but as a champion, she hasn't done anything, and part of this is because of the booking. She hasn't been able to do anything because Rhea Ripley's no-selling every move. She's absolutely knocking Liv Morgan out in every single encounter, and Liv Morgan looks like a weak champ, and she cuts the same promo. Rhea, I took your title, I took Dom, I took the Judgment Day, I'm revenge tour. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting annoying, it's boring, and she's also a botch master in the ring. So I'm going to put Liv Morgan in the jobber tier. Don't fire her, obviously, because she has some appeal, but, Liv Morgan is like, she's jobber / mid. I'll put her in mid just to be nice. Liv Morgan is mid. Mid Morgan. All right. Logan Paul. Logan Paul is going in the good tier. Logan Paul is awesome. And the reason he's not going in great yet is because he hasn't been there long enough, right? But Logan Paul is still awesome. Amazing in the ring. Amazing promos. You know what? Logan Paul's going in great. Logan Paul's going in great, man. This dude is just a different breed. He's athletic. He's got the build. He's got the size. He's got the charisma. He's got the star power. He's got the talent. And he's also young. This dude has everything you need, and when he does show up, he always puts on a banger match and puts on a banger segment or a banger promo. This dude is awesome. I mean, what literally, what else would make him not great? I genuinely don't know. Obviously, in the mainstream, nobody likes this guy. At least a lot of people don't like him because of the crypto scams and all that stuff, but as a performer, he's amazing. Ludwig Kaiser is mid. He could be doing more, but right now, he's a jobber. What am I doing? Hit mid. He's just a jobber. The one thing that Ludwig does do well, though, is the announcements and some promos he does, right? So I'm going to put him back in average, actually. He's decent. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? So Ludwig's got that going for him. Luke Gallows, you're fired. He hasn't done anything since the Straight Edge Society in 2009, so this dude's a jobber. Lyra Valkyria is a jobber. Don't fire her immediately, obviously, but she's a jobber. She's not doing anything. I don't know what else you asked for, she wrestles decent matches every now and then, but she hasn't cut a promo at all, and her gimmick is not really that much over with the crowd. So, so far in her early career, she is a jobber. Maxine Dupree is average. Sorry, I don't know why I said average. She's average right now. Quite frankly, if they actually gave her a chance to do more stuff on the mic, as she's developing in the ring too, she has the build and the look of a star. She's conventionally attractive, so that makes sure that you can get over. Obviously, if the fans think you're attractive, that's pretty much that's part of the that's part of the fight, part of the journey, right? And honestly, quite frankly, she's developing at a decent rate right now. I wish they would put her in more matches and more segments and more promos, but at the end of the day, if they're not going to use her correctly, then she can't be anything above average. But right now, she just serves as kind of a mouthpiece or, eye candy, I guess, for the Alpha Academy. So that's pretty much that. Let's see here. Michin, fire immediately. We've already gone over this. Michin is an absolute and utter jobber. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why she's in the company. She's not over with the crowd. It's just like if you're working at a McDonald's and you're the head chef and you keep messing up people's orders and, your coworkers aren't getting along with you and you're not over with your coworkers, per se, you should be fired. You should be let go of your job immediately. Go to AEW, make more money and wrestle more matches and maybe you'll get notarized or something. Miz is good. Miz is good. All time, though, if you include that, too, he's probably great. So, yeah, Miz all time off his lineage and his legacy, he's going to be great. Amazing promo worker. He's not that great in the ring, honestly, but, he's consistent. He's been around for 15-plus years. He's contributed a lot to the company, so I have to put him in that tier just out of respect for that guy. Montez Ford, baby. Montez Ford's going in great. He's going in great, man. Montez Ford is just awesome, dude. This dude is absolutely incredible. He genuinely is a generational talent when you look at it, right? Cuts amazing promos, brings an unmatched amount of charisma and energy to everything he does. The matches, the promos, he brings crazy charisma to that. In ring, he's an amazing seller. He has an amazing moveset. He puts on great matches. And him and Dawkins have been doing this consistently for the company for a long time now, man. And Montez Ford is a single star. We saw what he did in the Elimination Chamber in 2023. This dude is a generational talent, and it absolutely infuriates me that Triple H gave the tag belts to the Motor City Machine Guns, right? But didn't give the Street Profits a tag team championship run. run. It's absolutely absurd. A tag team that joined WWE a week or two ago gets tag belts, but Montez Ford, who's been grinding and working hard and is doing amazing work over the years, gets absolutely nothing. The reward for him and Dawkins is being undercard jobbers. But yeah, Montez Ford has everything you need. Size, athleticism, agility, in-ring work, amazing charisma, great promos, great segments, and he's consistent and he's on the younger side of the roster. He has every tool you need in the book. He's amazing. Let's see. Naomi's solid. She's solid. Comparatively to the rest of the women's division, she would be considered good, so obviously she has to go in the solid tier. And she has a decent gimmick that's pretty much, it's kind of over with the crowd, I'm not going to lie. She gets a decent pop each week, so, as long as she's over, she's going to have a place. Natalya, I mean, she is a jobber, but all time, her lineage, she has to be at least considered solid, right? She has to be at least in the good tier, so I have to give her that respect. But we all know right now in the last 5 years, Natalya's been a jobber, and she's also awful on the mic. But hopefully she can help elevate some woman in the division. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much that. Nia Jax, I'm gonna go good. Nia Jax is solid. She's solid, man. I'll say that much. She has talent. She's developing in the ring still. Her promo game is absolutely weak, but, in the ring as a gimmick of the Annihilator, when booked correctly, like in the early parts of this year, 2024, I mean, her run at the Queen of the Ring thing was great. She beat Jade and Bianca. Her feud with Rhea Ripley, I thought, was solid. Her little feud with Becky Lynch on Raw was also great. Nia Jax is an elevator, man. I think Nia Jax is in the upper, part of solid. She's one of the better women in the division, and I think Nia Jax has good potential. If you book her like the actual Annihilator and the monster that she's supposed to be, she's going to be great. And, we've seen it this year, so that's that. Nikki Cross, fire immediately. She's in the Wyatt 6, and the Wyatt 6 is likely going to be off TV for a little while after this Final Testament situation. I mean, they don't really contribute anything. Omos, fire immediately. He doesn't do anything. He's 7 feet. You should be able to turn anyone who's 7 feet into at least something that you should watch on Raw or SmackDown on weekly television, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Omos is like what? I think Omos is still younger. Why is he not doing anything? If you're not going to use him, just fire him and send him to AEW with MVP, Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. Otis is good. Otis is good for sure. Like I said with Tozawa, they asked Otis to go out here and, pretty much, why is Cody Rhodes in the solid tier, bro? That just pisses me off. Cody Rhodes is going back down to the mid tier, man. What am I doing? I get just looking at that just bothered me. Cody Rhodes is in the mid tier, bro. Cody Rhodes is a jobber. Anyways, Otis is asked to just be funny and put on decent matches and get the crowd going. He does it every week. He's great. Pete Dunne, fire immediately. Absolutely ridiculous. Piper Niven, fire immediately. R-Truth, great. R-Truth is one of the best comedy acts in the history of professional wrestling. There is literally no reason why this dude's not in the great tier, man. Just off comedy alone, he served his purpose, and he had a long career that actually, he has a lot of memorable moments and a lot of memorable moments. A lot of memorable moments and a lot of memorable segments and funny matches and funny segments and funny moments, if you get what I'm saying. Randy Orton, legend. Randy Orton is the first wrestler in this entire list, or the third wrestler, I should say, the first male wrestler to be in the legend list. It's Randy Orton. What else is there to say? It's Randy Orton, bro. He's absolutely incredible. Randy Orton is going to go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's iconic, he's consistent, and he's been around for over 20 years, still putting in work, so he's great. Raquel Rodriguez, jobber. There's really nothing else to really say about this. You brought her back from a return just to do the same thing she did in 2023, which is job out to Rhea Ripley and be mid in the ring and botch. So that's that. Rey Mysterio, legend. Absolute legend. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. This guy's a legend, bro. What else is there to say? He's the best luchador wrestler of all time. He's amazing. Akam or Razar, whatever this dude's name is, fire immediately. Rhea Ripley, bro, look, she's got superstar power. I can't lie. I can't deny it, right? Obviously, it's because of weirdos, the girl, mommy, she's thick, bro, look at her, da. But Rhea Ripley definitely has superstar power, and when she wrestles, which she doesn't wrestle, when she cuts mid-promos, when she does actually wrestle, she does do a decent job, and when booked correctly and not overpowered at every single turn, she actually can be pretty good. So I'm going to put Rhea Ripley in the good tier. Even though I'm not a huge fan of hers, I have to respect her. She's got star power, and honestly, with her potential, she can be great. I'm going to put Rhea Ripley in the great tier. She's one of those people that I consistently, will bash or, hate on, quote unquote, or criticize. But I know that she has talent to be great, and I know that she has great superstar appeal with the mainstream. So I have to put her in the great tier, man. It just kind of is what it is. Ricochet, he's gone already from the company, so I guess fire immediately. Who cares? Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the OTC. Roman Reigns is going in the legend tier, man. This is pretty self-explanatory. I'm actually gonna put Roman Reigns at right here, right above Orton, because listen. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns is the reason for a lot of people getting back into wrestling, including myself. And the storyline he's done with the bloodline has just been incredible. He's elevated so many people along the way. The amazing promos, the amazing segments, the great big-time matches. How many memeable and amazing and iconic moments has this dude had in just the last 5 years alone, bro? And then you factor in that we still have to see his feud with The Rock, which is probably going to be an all-timer. This dude's a legend, and he really has elevated the industry. Now, obviously, the big boom period lie that Gunther says is not true, right? WWE is not the best it's ever been. However, it is in a better state than they were in 2020 or like the late 2000s, the 2010s, I mean, right? With like 2018, 2019. They're in a better state than they were then, and it's mainly on the back of Roman Reigns and the bloodline, which, he is fully or mostly responsible for doing that, along with Paul Heyman, obviously, who contributed a lot. So, yeah, Roman Reigns is a legend, all-time great. One of my favorite wrestlers ever, and he's probably going to go down as a Mount Rushmore guy by the time he's done in about 5-10 years or whatnot. Sami Zayn, I'm going to put him in solid. Now, the reason I'm putting Sami Zayn in solid is because in the ring, I mean, this dude's pretty awesome in the ring. He's pretty impeccable. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The only problem with Sami Zayn is that, he just gets really overplayed with the constant underdog gimmick, and, he's the underdog, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I just get tired of that, but on the mic, he's decent. I mean, he cuts the same promo when he's champion, but that's that. In the ring, he's very good. And, in terms of his funniness and his humor, him doing that adds a lot to a lot of different segments that he's been a part of. And it added a lot to the bloodline when he was a part of it as the honorary Uce. So, Sami Zayn is solid, but, there could easily be a case for him being mid, honestly. Santos Escobar, fire immediately. He had one chance. WWE had one chance with this guy. There was a promo he cut last year when he was like, I'm glad Rey Mysterio got injured, and I hope you stay injured. That promo was the best of his career, and it honestly had me thinking this dude could be a solid mid-carder going forward, but he hasn't done anything since, so you gotta fire him. Scarlett Bordeaux, fire immediately. That's pretty much that simple. She doesn't really contribute anything. I just recently found out that Scarlett used to wrestle, though, and that she still does wrestle, I guess, but, Scarlett in the ring is probably better than a lot of these other jobbers. So, you know what? I won't say fire immediately, but she's a jobber. She's like right next to like the Ivy Niles of the world and like the Alba Fires and Isla Dons, right? It's the same thing. Scarlett Bordeaux, same thing. Seth freaking Rollins! Seth Rollins is going into that legend tier, ladies and gentlemen. Seth Rollins is an absolute model of consistency, similar to Randy Orton and similar to Roman Reigns. This guy is incredible, dude. He's incredible at his job. In ring, so many amazing matches, great promos when he's actually being serious, the ability to do different gimmicks and different roles, and also be selfless and fit in wherever the company has needed him. I mean, Seth Rollins is just, he's awesome, man. There's nothing else to really say about it. And him and Roman Reigns are, they were part of the Shield, which is a big part of the reason why WWE even had most of their success in the 2010s, those two guys, right? So they're the anchors of WWE. They've been the anchors of WWE for a long time, along with guys like Randy, Cena, etc. So, yeah, man, Rollins is awesome. He's a legend in my book. Shayna Baszler, fire immediately. I don't even want to get into this. Just fire her. She's at the top of this list, bro. She needs to be fired, man. Yeah, go ahead and just fire that. I'm done with that. Sheamus is awesome. He is going to go in the Great Plus tier. The reason why Sheamus is not going in the Legend tier is because, Sheamus, it's Sheamus, right? I mean, Sheamus is amazing in the ring. He's been also a model of consistency. He puts on great matches, intense promos. But the problem is with Sheamus is that he's just not on the level of like Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. So I have no justification for putting him higher than this tier. So yeah, Sheamus is still great though. Banger after banger match, good promos, been around for a long time, and he's still wrestling. He wrestles more matches than Cody Rhodes. So, what more can you ask? Shinsuke, fire immediately. He doesn't do anything. It's that simple. Shotzi, fire immediately. Solo Sikoa, I'm putting him in the good tier. You're dang right. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Solo Sikoa is going in the good tier. He is developing on the mic. He is developing in the ring. He's showing more charisma in his segments. And quite frankly, now that he's starting to be his true self instead of trying to, be like Roman Reigns and be that, fill-in tribal chief, he's been amazing since trying to do so. So that's all you can ask for. Solo Sikoa is awesome. Right now, and he's honestly younger too, he's going to have a good future ahead of him, bro. Once he goes into being a singles competitor, trust me, he's going to cook. Sonya Deville, fire immediately. That's pretty much that. Tamina, I don't even know what to say about that. She doesn't do anything. Fire immediately. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Tonga Loa is a botch master who is an absolute jobber, right? But Tama Tonga has talents and he has a decent gimmick with the it's over with the crowd. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. And he's decent in the ring. So I'm going to put Tonga Loa in the average tier. You know, Tonga Loa is solid. He's solid. I like Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga's nice. Who is this? I think this is Tegan Knox. Jobber, I guess. I mean, she doesn't do anything. So that's pretty much that. Tiffany Stratton, I'm going to put her in the good tier because even though I don't like the way she's being booked as like a second fiddle who pretty much just does nothing since she won the Money in the Bank, she's good and she's very young. So she's probably going to be super talented going forward and she will end up probably as a women's world champion. She might be fighting Charlotte as soon as this next year's WrestleMania, right? So she's amazing in the ring. She needs to develop on the mic and develop her gimmick a little bit. In my opinion, it's a little too shallow, but she's going to probably end up being great, so we have to judge her accordingly. She's in the good tier. Who else do we have here? Who is this? Tommaso Ciampa, fire immediately. Tyler Bate, fire immediately. This person, fire immediately. Xavier Woods, let's see. Xavier Woods is he's solid. Xavier Woods is solid. He's been consistent. He's been there. I mean, what more do you need from the guy, right? He's done his job. This recent storyline, though, with him and Kofi is absolutely trash. Zelina Vega, jobber. She doesn't do anything. She's decent on the mic, but other than that, she's just not that good at anything. Zoe Stark, fire immediately. These are all NXT people, so none of this stuff really matters, right? Yeah, this is all just NXT from here on out. Now let's scroll down to the list a little bit. I mean, I guess I can mention a couple of these NXT people that I think are standouts. Javon Evans, bro. You're going in the great tier, man. Straight up. This dude, I think, is 19 or 20 years old, and he's already one of the best in-ring performers in WWE. Just imagine saying that as a 19-year-old, bro. You're one of the best in-ring performers in the WWE at 19. This dude is most likely going to go down as great, so his potential is incredible. Who else do I want to talk about here from NXT? Julia is a jobber. Let me just go ahead and slide that in there real quick. Do I care about any of these other people? Kalani Jordan is going to go in the good tier, just because, in the future, she's probably going to end up being great. I mean, let's be honest here. She's very good in the ring, and if she develops on the mic and develops her gimmick, she's probably going to go down as awesome. So that's that. Who else really matters here? Jakara Jackson and Last Legend. I don't really know if they're on the main roster or not, but if I were to rank them in this list, they would be considered in the mid tier or like the solid tier. They're decent. Who else is here? Obafemi. I don't really care about Obafemi that much. He does have super talent. He would be in the good tier if I were to rank him. And then who else here? Roxanne Perez would be in like the solid tier, I guess. She's got potential. So Ruka has potential. Tatum Paxley has potential. She's actually really good in the ring, so she's awesome. Trick Williams has a little bit of potential. And who else is here? I think that's pretty much it, no? Oh, okay, I see here. We got a couple more WWE guys main roster. The Rock, come on, bro. It's The Rock, man. What, I mean, come on, bro. The Rock is going in the legend tier, and he's going at the top of that legend tier list. The Rock, in my personal opinion, is one of the top 3 greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Not just with like the in-ring stuff, obviously, because The Rock in the ring is not like a Shawn Michaels caliber guy, but The Rock, in terms of his impact, his storytelling, his promos, which I believe The Rock is the greatest or the second greatest promo worker in WWE history, and the fact that he came back recently and absolutely revived this company a bit and gave them a massive surge. I mean, come on. The Rock is incredible, bro. One of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. He is absolutely amazing. But the greatest professional wrestler of all time, in my opinion, is John Cena, man. John Cena, 20 plus years of straight excellence. Straight excellence. Amazing matches for the most part, right? Well, not for the most part. He's had good matches for the most part, right? But it's like John Cena at this point is going to go down as the GOAT, most likely. He's going to break the record for the Ric Flair championships. He's a model of consistency, best promo worker ever, at least one of them. Very good in-ring, consistently been around 20 plus years. He's one of the biggest draws in professional wrestling history, along with The Rock and along with guys like, Stone Cold, stuff like that. And obviously Roman Reigns for his era was like that, that big time draw for his era too. So yeah, John Cena's the GOAT, man. Nothing else needs to be said. And then who else is here? Trish Stratus is there. Nobody really doesn't really matter. She doesn't really do anything. Paul Heyman, I guess I'll rank Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is a legend. He's one of the best mic workers I think we've ever seen. So I mean, he has to obviously go into the legend tier. He's elevated different people like Lesnar, Roman, etc. Paul Heyman's going in the legend tier. And then who else really matters here? Nobody cares about the commentators. Adam Pearce, though, fire immediately. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I saw Adam Pearce on this list, actually. Fire immediately. He is one of the worst GMs in professional wrestling history. I also didn't see here Jada Parker. Jada Parker has talent as well. She'll probably end up being good. Who else is here? Triple H, and then Triple H is the last ranking we'll do. Oh, wait. We got five time. Precious. My boy Booker T, bro. Booker T is going in the legend tier, man. Booker T is awesome. Great as a wrestler, great as a commentator, great as a personality, and great in the world of professional wrestling. Booker T, legend. And then lastly is Triple H. As a wrestler, legend. As a booker, fire immediately, baby. As a booker, fire immediately. He's a jobber. You know what? As a booker, he's mid. He's a mid booker. He's had a couple amazing moments like the Mania 40 build-up and all that stuff, but that was really carried by the stars and everyone doing their job and their roles. So, I mean, overall, I think that's going to do it, man. This is what the list looks like. How do I zoom out? I don't know if I can see it, but yeah, you can see it here. The legend tier, John Cena, Rock, Roman, Orton, Charlotte, Becky, Rollins, Rey Mysterio, Heyman, Booker T. These are the legends, right? These are the people who just know what they're doing. The great tier, you see it for yourself. All these people are great and are probably going to go down as even above that as amazing. So that's that. The good and the solid tier, you see the talent we got here. The standouts here are Carmelo Hayes, Solo, Jimmy Uso, Angelo Dawkins, Io Sky, and Chad Gable. I don't know why Bayley's in this list. I'm putting her down in the mid tier. Yeah, that's that. Naomi can also go down to mid. And what was that? I think I saw Gunther here. Yeah, Gunther's a dude. Yeah, just, we're done with Gunther. He can go in the mid tier. And that's pretty much it, man. That's the list. Obviously, this jobber tier is the most packed tier out of all these because WWE is mostly jobbers now, right? I mean, their roster is not the best it's ever been. Most people in WWE now lie in the mid/average or the jobber tier where they need to be fired immediately. So, that's the situation with that. Let me know what you think of this list, and let me know if you want me to rank, rate the SmackDown roster or the Raw roster or the NXT talent specifically, or if you want me to rank Triple H PLEs. There's a bunch of different ideas, so give me ideas for different videos in this format. If you want to see tier list rankings, if you want to see, just ratings of anything, reactions even, whatever you want to do, I'm down for it because, I'm able to lock that in for you guys, man. But anyways, hope you guys have a phenomenal day. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. And as always, I hope you all have a phenomenal day. Peace out.